What's up everybody, Jay here and welcome back to the Planted Tank. And I've been getting a lot of questions about low-tech plants for beginners and low-light plants and low-tech plants, all kinds of stuff. I just wrote down a huge list of plants that I am going to give you guys that are going to work for low to medium light regardless. They're not always going to work if you're not using aqua soil or a really nutrient-rich substrate. So I'll let you know which plants those are when we go through this list. So anyways, first plant I have on here is Hydrocotyle Japan or Hydrocotyle Tripartita or something like that. I can't pronounce these scientific names, but it's basically like the three-leaf clover plant. It doesn't require CO2. A lot of people will tell you that they do require CO2, but in my experience, it's definitely not needed, and they actually grow in pretty low light conditions as well. So you can use those as a background plant or a foreground plant or a mid-ground plant. Really just depends on where you want to put it in your tank and how often you're willing to trim it. So plant number 2 on the list is Anubias. So we all know about Anubias. Pretty much all Anubias takes pretty much no light, and all you got to do is tie it to a rock or super glue it to some driftwood or anything like that, and it'll grow just fine. Also, Bucephalandra is basically the same way. It can pretty much grow with absolutely no light at all. So both of those plants are really awesome plants for like details in your tank and stuff. So if you have some rocks in there, you could just like pinch a few of them in there and it'll look like a nice big bushy rock of Anubias or Bucephalandra. Bucephalandra comes in a lot of different colors and stuff, so that plant is really cool. You should really check it out if you haven't already. I haven't actually purchased any myself, but I will be here soon, so I will keep you guys updated on that. Java Fern is another one of those plants that don't need to be planted. They like to be attached to rocks or driftwood. I'm not sure about floating. I have heard people talk about just floating it, but in my experience, it's one of those plants that need to be upright. So Amazon Sword, I have that in here. It's another awesome plant. I will say it is a very heavy root feeder though. They will grow in low light as long as you're giving it a lot of nutrients to the roots. So in my experience, they are heavy root feeders and it doesn't take much light to grow them. Root tabs are a must with this plant unless you're using aqua soil or dirt. Another good one is dwarf lily, tiger lotus, and banana plants. They all are super easy to grow, mid-ground to background plants. They all send up those nice lily pads to the top, and they look really cool and pretty. So Crypts, I have a bunch of different Crypts in here. There's Crypt Wendtii green, there's Crypt Tropica and Crypt Sri Lanka all mixed into this little corner here. And this light fixture I'm using is a Current USA freshwater satellite LED plus or something like that. I can't talk today, but I consider this light to be medium to low light. It's dimmable, so if you want it to be a little lower, it is pretty strong, but I wouldn't consider it high light. It's definitely keeping my S Repens low, which is a good sign of good lighting. So Dwarf Sagittaria, I have a lot of that in here as well. It's a really heavy root feeder. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a must for root tabs, but in aqua soil and dirt, they grow like crazy, and you're more than likely going to have to start plucking some out of there because they will take over your other plants. Jungle Val, pretty much the same thing. They'll grow in any condition. I'm pretty sure Jungle Val is a freshwater plant that can grow in salt water as well. So Jungle Val is ridiculously hardy. It doesn't really need root tabs, but it will prosper if you give them some. So Ludwigia Repens and Bacopa stem plants, those are really good low-tech plants as well. Ludwigia usually is considered a highlight plant, but if you give it some time to change its leaves and stuff like that, they'll go back down to like a green tone leaf, and they will just grow like a weed. I mean, it's gonna take over your whole tank, so if you let it. But I just don't like the stem plants because I don't really like trimming them all that much. I like to keep things nice and simple and low tech. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this little list of plants that I have for you. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this Planted Tank for Beginners series. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys would like me to talk about anything in specific. And if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you never miss an upload. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And as always, keep it planted.